In the final weeks of the 2024 election cycle, something unusual happened. Prediction markets moved sharply in one direction while national polls remained essentially flat. Then the results came in. The markets were right. The polls were not. This is not a coincidence. It is a structural advantage built into how these two systems actually work. Polls measure stated intentions. Prediction markets measure financial conviction. That distinction matters more than most analysts acknowledge. When a polling firm calls 1,000 respondents, they are collecting opinions at zero cost to the person giving them. There is no downside to saying you will vote one way and then doing another. There is no penalty for expressing enthusiasm you do not actually feel. Respondents are not putting anything on the line. They are answering a survey. The data reflects sentiment, not commitment. Prediction markets operate on a different incentive structure entirely. Participants are allocating real capital to an outcome they believe will occur. If they are wrong, they lose money. If they are right, they profit. This means the aggregate price on a prediction market is not a collection of opinions. It is a collection of bets made by people who have done their own research and are willing to back it financially. That filtering mechanism is extraordinarily powerful. It does not eliminate noise, but it applies a cost to being wrong that traditional polling completely lacks. In the weeks before the 2024 election, Polymarket, one of the largest decentralized prediction platforms, showed a significant and widening gap favoring one candidate. Meanwhile, aggregated polling averages from 538 and Real Clear Politics showed margins within 1 or 2 percentage points. The divergence was visible and persistent. Analysts who dismissed the markets as manipulated or unrepresentative missed what the price signal was actually encoding. There is an argument that prediction markets are manipulable. A large actor could theoretically move prices by taking outsized positions. This is true. But it is also true that manipulation creates arbitrage opportunities. If prices are artificially inflated or deflated, informed participants have a direct financial incentive to correct that distortion. Markets are not perfect, but they are self-correcting in ways that polls simply are not. There is also the question of information aggregation. Prediction markets pull in participants from across geographic, ideological, and informational boundaries. A trader in Singapore who has analyzed early voting data in Arizona is competing in the same market as a political scientist in New York. That diversity of information sources, all filtered through the discipline of financial risk, tends to produce more accurate probability estimates than any single polling methodology can generate. Academic research supports this. Studies examining prediction market performance versus polling across multiple election cycles consistently show that market-derived probabilities outperform poll-based models on the final outcome. The Iowa Electronic Markets, operating since 1988, has a documented track record of outpredicting major polling organizations in presidential contests. This does not mean polls are useless. They provide granular demographic breakdowns, issue-level sentiment, and state-specific data that markets cannot replicate at scale. But as a binary forecasting tool for who wins, polls have a structural weakness that markets do not share. There is one more variable worth examining. Markets incorporate real-time information continuously. When a news event breaks, illegal filing surfaces, or early voting numbers shift, market prices adjust within minutes. Polls are snapshots. The average national poll takes 3 to 7 days to conduct and publish. In a fast-moving information environment, that lag is not a minor inconvenience. It is a fundamental limitation. The 2024 cycle also revealed something about public trust in institutions. Confidence in traditional media and polling organizations has declined significantly over the past decade. Prediction markets emerged partly in that vacuum, offering an alternative signal that is harder to editorialize and easier to audit in real time. The price is the price. There is no methodology to argue about, no weighting scheme to dispute. The takeaway is direct. If you are trying to understand the actual probability of a political outcome, not the narrative around it, prediction markets deserve more weight in your analytical framework than they currently receive. They are not infallible. No forecasting tool is. but they are structurally incentivized to be accurate in a way that voluntary survey data is not. When the markets and the polls diverge significantly, that divergence is a signal, not noise. Dismissing it because it conflicts with a preferred narrative is a forecasting error with measurable consequences. The price knew something. It usually does.